Top of the morning to you. We don't really say that here, just for the record. But I'll entertain it because, hey, it's St. Patrick's Day today, isn't it? Well, I'm out here in the woodshed. I call it the woodshed. It's not really a woodshed. It's a kind of gazebo made of wood. You can see the wall behind me, but behind the camera it opens up into the woods and the fields and the rolling green hills and the verdant, emerald beauty that is Ireland. It is like that here, to be honest, especially when the sun shines. As you can hear as well, there are a lot of birds. This time of year the birds have come home. They're making a lot of noise, so I hope the sound is okay. I'm not very good at all this technical stuff. But this is a wonderful place to sit down and think in the morning with your cup of coffee. Nicaraguan coffee, by the way. Beautiful stuff. We usually drink Black Goat, but we ran out of Black Goat coffee. Black Goat dark roast, that's my go-to. But this is still a good coffee. And yeah, thinking in the morning before the rest of the world wakes up. And I'm thinking today about what it means to be Irish. What is it to be Irish? A lot of people are thinking about that today because it's St. Patrick's Day, a time of the year when a lot of people celebrate Ireland or being Irish or having Irish roots or some connection to Irish culture. And sometimes people have no connection, they just want a good time. And that in itself, one can argue, is an Irish thing to do. The thing is, you might think you're Irish, and I've got something to tell you. Don't worry, it's nothing negative. Although some people, they tend to look at these things through a negative lens, which is very sad. So you get some people, and I'm ashamed to say some of them are in Ireland, that are a bit snobbish, that are kind of gatekeepers of the Irish culture, language, heritage, whatever you want to call it. And they look at people across the pond in the United States, or people down in Australia, or even in England or wherever, and they say, hey, they're a bunch of plastic patties. Look at them with their leprechaun hats, and their green t-shirts, and their Kiss Me, I'm Irish hoodies, and their green balloons and green rivers and whatever. How dare they? How dare they say they're Irish? They're not Irish. They're American. They're Australian. They're whatever, wherever you're from. How dare they say they're Irish? How dare they co-opt our culture? Well, I've got something to say to those people. Go home. Go home. If that is your thought, if that is your mindset, just go home. Or as the young people like to say, GTFO. Because that thought process, that idea, that is the antithesis of what it means to be Irish. And to be honest with you, you guys across the pond in the United States and in Australia and in other parts of the world, you take St. Patrick's Day to a whole new level. I'm wearing my green cap and my green jumper here, both of which I got in the United States, by the way. Last year, I happened to be in Chicago on the tail end of St. Patrick's Day, so I got to see your Green River. That's pretty awesome. I got to hang out in some of the pubs and sing Irish songs with people, with American musicians who played wonderful Irish music. And I had a great time meeting lots of beautiful, wonderful people. And here's the thing. You guys in the United States, you guys with Irish roots, Irish grandparents, parents, great-great-great-grandparents, however many times removed you are from this beautiful country and its language and its culture and its people, you guys show real pride in your roots. I don't mean to get emotional when I talk about this, but it bothers me, you know? It even It troubles me. It troubles me when often people here, point their finger and feel like they have some kind of claim to a culture. Like, it's my culture. How dare you? I'm Irish. How dare you think you're Irish? You weren't born here. Thing is, it's not to do with where you're born. Where you're born is an accident. A lot of people talk about being proud to be Irish, proud to be American, proud to be whatever. And those things are fine, but often people associate that with being born in that place, and that's not what it's about. You were born in Ireland? That was completely accidental. How can you be proud of that? How can you be proud of something you did not accomplish? Being proud to be Irish is about associating and identifying with the culture and the people and the idea and the concept and the environment, right? The history, the rich tapestry of lore and mythology, and the magic of being in Ireland. And it is a magical place. Don't get me wrong. Ireland is a magical place in many ways. You may not see it if you come here as a tourist. You kind of have to be here and dig under the surface a little bit, but there's still magic to be found here. And the funny thing is, you can never appease people like that. Because my name's Paddy, right? My name's Paddy. People have called me Paddy my whole life. I speak fluent Gaelic, which puts me in a tiny minority on this island. I play the music. I translate English songs into Gaelic and perform them. I run a company that's all about writing about Irish lore, mythology, stories, history, fairy tales, if you will. So I've been born here. I live the life. I guess you could say I'm kind of like neck deep in the culture in many ways, and the language, and what it is to be Irish. Yet, you will have a lot of people in the Republic of Ireland pointing at me and saying, Paddy, you're a Nordy. You were born in Northern Ireland. You're British. You're not really Irish. And it's often people who don't speak the language, don't play the music, don't write about the history and the mythology, or know the stories, or know the beautiful mythology. People who don't actually celebrate what it is to be Irish, yet they're most vocal about telling others that they can't celebrate it. And I would say that if you hear any of those people, ignore them. Ignore those people. No one owns a culture. Mankind, I have to say humankind these days, don't I? Because mankind apparently is politically incorrect. Humankind, the human species, that's what owns culture. And you can identify and connect with whatever culture you want. And if you want to connect to Irish culture, more power to you. I want you to do that. I want people to celebrate my culture. And I say my culture, not because I own it, but because I identify with it. Because I view it as being part of me. But I don't own it. No one owns it. We all own it as a collective. So, whatever your plans are today, whether you're just chilling at home and wearing a bit of green, being with your family, thinking about your Irish roots, whether you're in Ireland, no matter where you are, whether you feel like you are Irish, whether you have connections to Ireland in some way, or whether you are Irish, I hope you have a great day. And here's the thing about being Irish. It's not just a nationality, a heritage, culture, people, past, those things. It is those things, but it's not just those things. Because being Irish, it's a state of mind. So as long as you're willing to have the crack and the shenanigans and drink a pint of Guinness on St. Patrick's Day, you're Irish. You're Irish in my eyes. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And it's worth celebrating. Because St. Patrick's Day is all about just having a great time. It's about having a good time. And that helps immensely, especially when people are not having a good time. And I think it's true to say that a lot of people the world over, especially recently, are having a very hard time. And if we can have one day where we can celebrate what it is to be Irish and forget about that and have a good day, how dare anyone try to stomp on that? How dare anyone try to put a negative spin on it? How dare anyone tell anyone else that they are not Irish? Because anyone who does that, anyone who has that point of view or voices that to another person, that person is not Irish. I don't know what they are. I don't. But they sure as hell aren't Irish. All that said, wishing you and yours a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Until next time.